This is one of the most praised Fujinon lenses. 16mm f1.4 WR is a very unique yet amazingly versatile lens. It was released back in 2015, and beside firmware upgrades, it did not change one bit. Fuji engineers managed to pack a lot of glass in a relatively compact body. All of their high-end primes are pretty darn good, and 16 f1.4 is no exception. This thing packs 13 optical elements and 9 aperture blades. It's weather sealed and the body's made out of metal. It looks like it will survive World War III. 16 1.4 comes with a clutch ring, which is super handy, and the depth of field scale helps so much with the manual zone focusing. When it comes to build quality, this lens is simply amazing. It feels roughly the same as 23 f1.4, which is not a bad thing. 24mm equivalent focal length in a full-frame world could be barely considered as wide angle. This is how I see it. 16 1.4 is not super wide, but it's wide enough to be called a wide-angle lens, if that makes any sense. Fast aperture of 1.4 and very close minimum focusing distance, I think it's around 6 inches, makes it a lot of fun to use. You can get really close to your subject, and when you do, the lens produces a super interesting and very unique point of view. Now, let's talk about performance. The lens is sharp and contrasty wide open, and it only gets better when you stop it down. Edges are quite good at 1.4, but the peak performance in my opinion really lies somewhere in between f5.6 and f8. Color rendering is simply amazing, and it's on par with 23 1.4, 56 1.2, and 90mm f2 primes. Distortion and chromatic aberration are well controlled, which is quite remarkable for such a wide-angle lens. Yes, you will find some purple fringing in extremely contrasty area, but this can be easily fixed in post-production. The lens begs to be used wide open. Bokeh quality is exceptional and likely the main reason why people will drop $1,000 on this glass. The autofocus area is smooth, although it might show some slight signs of busyness with the longer focusing distances. For me, this focal length is not wide enough for landscape photography, although I've seen many outstanding photos produced by this lens in hands of true professionals. I prefer Fujifilm 14mm f2.8, which I recently reviewed. For me, 2mm makes a huge difference on a wide side. It's like comparing 21 to 24mm in a full-frame system. In my opinion, this is a fine general-purpose lens. Its biggest strength is versatility. I use it for street and, in some cases, portrait photography. It comes super handy while traveling, and it's absolutely essential for indoor events. I really like this lens. It's fun to use, optically is almost flawless, but I still prefer Fujinon 23 f1.4 over this one. That 35mm focal length still remains my favorite field of view. Regardless, 16 f1.4 is one amazing lens, a prime you won't regret buying. As I said before, this is very unique yet amazingly versatile glass. Applications are endless, and output quality is second to none. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Fujifilm 16mm f1.4 WR. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Cheers!